What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we have a new Grand Voyage. It has been quite a long time since we actually had a Grand Voyage come out in Treasure Cruise, and of course we can go ahead and do this at level 5, which is what we're doing here, to, acquire some rainbow gems, some level limit break wanted posters, all that good stuff. So this is at level 5, of course. This team does have everyone limit break expanded. I actually got kind of lucky because the characters that are required to clear this content, I actually had them pretty much full invested anyway. I only just had to go ahead and max level limit break expand. The Kizaru had to go ahead and use that limit break key and stuff, but everyone else was good to go. Just had to feed some cotton candy around, and that was pretty much it. Huge shout out to Snafkin, the Japanese player who actually created the team initially. Because this, obviously, Grand Voyage is a pretty tricky pieces of content. I have seen that there is a secondary team that can clear this with some different characters and support. So there is another team out there. I'm not 100% exactly what the main difference is between that team and the team that you're seeing right here. But one thing that you do have to keep in mind is that when you are building a team, you need to have a team cost of 430, and that accounts for your support characters as well. So it means that a lot of Sugofest exclusives are not going to be what you want to be using, remember, as a support as well. So the supports on this team are going to be not really Sugofest exclusives, going to be lower cost characters. One thing to note as well is that support rare recruits are actually pretty valuable too, because I believe they're only one cost, so that's definitely going to help you out in terms of some cost reduction stuff. In terms of Sugofest exclusives, it does include the friend captain as well in the cost, so you do have to keep that in mind as well. But we've got the friend captain, we've got 5 Sugofest exclusives on the team, and then we have 1 Sugofest exclusive or 2 Sugofest exclusives as a support, and then we've got a support rare recruit and then 2 generic rare recruits. So we're able to fit all these characters into this team. This is a pretty interesting piece of content as well, because they actually want you to have a lot of attack and all boosts. Like, you need like a lot of buffs in order to get through this. So you got like a lot of interesting characters here, like this one, this rare recruit Bins. Like this rare recruit Bins, I don't think I've actually ever used him in content. There might have been like one random piece of content I've used him, but yeah, I really haven't used this guy like basically ever. The thing is that this Bins does have a buff at level limit break 5, and it is definitely required. Everyone here is at level 150. And his buff at level limit break 5 is actually quite interesting on this stage that you're seeing here against these Lapans, as it does remove 6 turns of enemies' damage threshold, and it does have the ability to give you a shooter all boost for 3 turns. So, obviously having that amount of buffs for an extended period of time is going to be very useful in this content, because all the enemies in this fight do have quite a lot of HP, so you basically need to have like some type of buff every single turn in order to actually kill these mobs. And we also have the Iron support attached to Bins as well, which is great. It does remove the damage reduction and the increased defense on this stage too, so very, very key that we have all of those abilities to activate. And then the Shanks crew is actually kind of interesting as well. Like, I feel like they've kind of, at least this stage here, stage 3, they've basically kind of forced you into using Shanks crew, as you see that there's 3 enemies, 2 of which are int, and there is a strength enemy. So being able to have that ability to switch Shanks into Ben Beckman to have some type advantage against that strength enemy definitely feels like they were kind of forcing that onto you. One other thing that I guess is kind of important for this team composition is the ship that I am using. So I am using a level 12 upgraded Coated Sunny. Now, I got really lucky. These ship upgrades can take quite a long time and can require heavy investments. I think it only took me like 3 full rotations in order for me to get the level 5 upgrade, which is incredibly lucky. Doesn't really happen very often, but yeah, the reason why we do use this ship, there is for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that when you have it at level 12, it does get 2 turns of bind removal, which is going to be key in this content. And then there's also the other ability that you get at the modification level 12, is that it gets an upgraded special on the ship. Now, the ship special, it does give you a significant damage reduction, which is fine, but you don't really need the damage reduction it just gives you additional damage. It gives you an additional 1.3 times damage, I believe it is, 1.4, via a % damage reduction based attack boost, which is really valuable to have. But either way, really glad that I have done it anyway. Having a ship that gives you -2 turns to bind is never going to be a bad thing to own. So I think that if you have the investments to do it, it's not a bad thing to do. And considering the fact that we don't really get Grand Voyages all that often, having the ability to just, you know, whenever one comes out, invest in a ship is going to be probably the best way forward. Of course, once you've already done the big ship in terms of the host ship and stuff like that, then you can just basically save your Super Cola for a later time period. And then Grand Voyages are the best place to use those invested ships because they kind of require you to use them a lot of the time. What I will say though is that this is not the most difficult of Grand Voyage fights. I actually did clear this on my first attempt. I didn't have to like redo it, didn't screw up any attack or anything like that. It's actually pretty straightforward. One thing I will say as well is that comparing this to other Grand Voyage content, like this, the final stage is actually quite easy. You only have to activate 2 specials and then you just hit all your perfects. There's no weird attack order or anything and you just kill. Definitely the prior stages with these mini bosses are the ones that are going to get you in terms of attacking in the right order. The stage on stage 3 that we talked about with Ben Beckman having type advantage against that strength mob, I did do some manual targeting for that one during the attack, so do be very, very cautious about that one. That is like really the only stage that I think is going to screw up a lot of people. Once you get past that point, it is pretty straightforward from there on out. And the good thing in this content is they do give you lots of cooldown reduction, so after you use just a couple of specials, they'll charge your specials back in a couple of these stages, which enables you to get lots and lots of buffs in this content. But that's going to wrap it up for me. You know, another month, another Grand Voyage down. I actually still need to go ahead and clear level 5 Vivi, but there is a character that I am missing, so unfortunately I can't do that quite yet. So we're still missing a little bit, but we're nearly completely maxed out on the Grand Voyage. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
ちょっとごめんな。そこどいてくれるか。
一つだけお願いがあるの。